I'm calling to order the regular board meeting of the CUSD Board of Education for November 4th, 2021. Welcome, everyone. First item of business is a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Thank you, everyone. The second item on the agenda is the board agenda approval.
I would like to ask to pull a consent item 10.10. This was our ask to modify the date for our January board advanced study session. Schedules have changed and we are able to continue to keep it on January 27th. So we no longer need to ask for a modification of the board agenda schedule.
Great, thank you. Get a motion for the amended board agenda, please.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Satish. Could I get a second, please? Thanks, Phyllis. Let's go ahead and vote on this. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved 4-0. Okay, item 2.1, public comments. Do you have any public comments on the closed session?
No, we do.
Great. All right, thank you. With that, then I'm going to go ahead and adjourn us to closed session. Expect to be back around 6 p.m. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I'm going to reconvene us back to open session. Thanks for bearing with us. I'd like to wish everyone a happy Diwali and for spending your evening with us today. Let's see. So picking up on item number 6, reporting from closed session. There's nothing to report from closed session today. So then moving on to our opening items, 7.1, superintendent report.
Thank you for that. I did want to open the meeting and share that we are trying a new tech device at OWL. And so we're hoping that that enhances the ability for our audience to see those of us that are speaking, as it will follow us. And we've expanded and have different views for you, because that was one of the concerns we'd heard from our public. They couldn't necessarily see those of us that were speaking. So we're trying it out tonight and seeing how that goes. So did want to share that with everyone. I think the exciting news for us is the recent announcement that the vaccines are now available for our children ages 5 through 11. As shared at our last board meeting, we are on the list for the county to be able to host a vaccination clinic. We met briefly with county yesterday, so they are working out some of the details and will let us know what dates or locations we will be able to offer that vaccination. So our director of student services is working very closely and will provide updates as soon as possible on that. The other pace is that we will expand our testing as needed. We are going to have our testing sites remain open during our breaks at the November Thanksgiving break and then over our Christmas break as well, our winter break in December, so that families and students who may want to get tested during that time have easy access to a location to come in and get testing. And we'll continue to look if we do need to expand. We're still continuing to do about 300 to 500 tests a day. We did just find that we may have the ability to offer the antigen test, which is a very fast turnaround. So we're looking into more of the specifics of that, of how we may be able to offer that for our students and staff as well. So moving along in that process, and again, encouraging everybody as they become eligible to get their vaccination, we hope to make it as easy as possible for them to access those sites for us. I think the other topic is, we just met last week, and so we don't have a lot of updates on our school consolidation, but did want to share that we have started the meetings with community. Leslie Maines has been out meeting with the principals and community. They have been able to do virtual tours of some of the campuses. They've had meetings with the principals so that the community and parents can get to know their principals, and helping them to make those decisions as they will use the month of November and all the way up through December 10th. We've expanded that time for them return their selection of what school they would like to have. So we're looking forward to that. We will hopefully have our preliminary information that we can bring back on November 30th, where some of the numbers are falling for our sites. We know that we're very anxious to begin to look at where staffing can go, and so we can get all of that settled into January. So based on, I know that there was a desire from the board as well as the community to expand to that December 10th. And so we did go ahead and accommodate that December 10th. We're still very hopeful that we'll be able to determine the staffing very early in January so that we can get that process moving. We'll also continue to bring back, I know that we've received some questions about Blue Hills and their modernization project. I know that you as a board had indicated liking having updates, so we'll make sure that we include those as we move forward. Modernization, again, Blue Hills is one of our last schools to be modernized under our 2014 bond. So we're excited with that. And then I think just on another note, we are fast approaching the end of our first trimester and our teachers are busy getting ready to work on report cards. So time is flying and yeah, it just seems amazing to be sitting here and saying we're reaching our first trimester when it feels like we just started the year a week ago. So a lot of good things happening. I know, staff are working hard out there. I know that one of the challenges for us continues to be trying to find subs at all of our school sites, and I'm very appreciative of the teachers' willingness to step in and work and help cover. But we also know that it's taking its toll and exhausting on all of our staff. And so we will try to be very creative in finding ways to ensure that we have coverage in those classrooms at all of our sites. So that's all I have to share for tonight.
All right, great. Thank you, Mrs. Zhao.
Yeah,
Satish.
I got a question. Thank you. That is good. One thing which we are talking about the traffic part of it, and I hope we are making some progress on that side as well. And would you be able to give us an update sometime soon on that?
We will. We'll continue as we'll basically have it every board meeting. We'll do some kind of an update. We'll bring back some of the traffic. With that, I did want to address, because we received some information, emails from parents today concerned. We know that one of our buses was in an accident on Bollinger this morning. They were involved in a head-on. It wasn't due to congested traffic. There was an individual who ran the red light and ran into the bus and ended up being in a multiple car accident. So just somewhat of a reassurance to our families that it wasn't the congested traffic. It was somebody running the red light. No children are on the bus. Thankfully, our driver is okay, was transported for ambulance for precautionary reasons, but she is okay and looking forward to her return. So we will continue to give updates.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. All right, thank you. Moving on then, item 7.2 is our classified employee of the month. So we're here to honor Margarita Orozco Pena. Mike, will you be doing the introduction?
You betcha. All right, this is a fun part of the night. I'd like to talk about our superstar Margarita. West Valley staff wrote the following in support of Margarita's nomination. Margarita is such an essential part of the West Valley team. She's one of the most conscientious people we have ever worked with. She takes great pride in her job and goes above and beyond at every opportunity. She will work to immediately fill whatever request is made of her, from ladders and cleaners to paper towels or tools. For a while at the beginning of the year, Margarita was the only custodian at our site. Even with the additional workload and hours, every room was cared for and all areas of the school were given attention to keep the whole site looking neat and orderly. Currently, we're experiencing a shortage of lunchtime supervisors, especially with students spaced out all over in order to maintain social distancing. Margarita has stepped up to help supervise and work with the students to learn about caring for their school. She has monitored areas where students are restricted and has been always evaluating trash receptacle placement in order to make disposable easiest for everyone. She's so caring and thoughtful that everyone from staff to students want to help her when we can. All of this work is done with care and a positive attitude that epitomizes the kind of work ethic that all should strive to achieve. So here to speak about Margarita is the principal at West Valley, Chia Ching Lin.
Hello, good evening. I'm honored to represent West Valley staff to share this well-deserved recognition for our dearest Big Mama custodian, Margarita Orozco Pena. By the way, she's not big. Instead, she has a big heart. Margarita, congratulations on your incredible achievement. I know you will take this great achievement and use it to propel yourself to future trumpet goals. You are an inspiration to me, and I hope you realize how much you deserve your success. And I really enjoy working with you. I know there will be many more victories for years to come. Congratulations, Margarita.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. It's okay. Take a breath. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I just want to thank all the staff of West Valley and parents for all the support and help and kindness. Thank you. I want to thank you, some special person who helped me get into this. I want to thank Mrs. Jorge Silva from the day custodian of Montclair. Also, Eric Fridas, the maintenance guy, who I'm here because them, and they helped me. And Concepcion Hernandez from Farias, who trained me, and Eric Fridas. And I want to thank Margarito Medina, the head custodian, who recommended me for this position on West Valley. And of course, I would like to thank you, my principal, Jeff, for your trust and opportunity to work in West Valley. And a special thank you for the Lisa Aguirre and Nidhi Single, secretaries from here, from West Valley, for always supporting me. I very much enjoy this work, and I enjoy every day coming to work because it's like a second family. I feel so happy and proud to be working on West Valley and to be part of the team. Thank you, Mrs. Chai, for your support too. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you, Margarita. So it's an honor to meet you and learn about your work. And on behalf of the board, thank you for taking such good care of our students and staff at West Valley. Really lucky to have you in the CUSD family. And again, congratulations on your recognition for Employee of the Month. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Okay, let's move on to item 8, communications. Do we have any employee organization communications today?
Yes, we do. We have Kai Brown and Britt Britton.
Okay, all right, let's welcome them here to speak. Who will be first today?
Kai, go ahead.
Welcome, Kai.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak as always. CUSD School Board and Executive Cabinet. At previous school board meetings, I spoke of the concerns teachers have faced this year. Since then, I've heard from numerous teachers thanking me for expressing these to the board. As many are busy or unfortunately fear the repercussions of unfair and slanderous posts on the internet about them, as some of you and myself have experienced, teachers have asked me to read their sentiments to you. Tonight, I'm reading a comment from a Collins teacher sent me, and it goes as follows. The question I posed to an assistant superintendent at an open forum is a simple one. What reason can CUSD give me and my fellow teachers for remaining here when I can go to a neighboring district and get an immediate 25% raise? After several seconds of uncomfortable silence, the response was the tried and true, well, we are family here. With all due respect to the intentions of this response, no, we are not a family. My family is at home. My family depends on my income. I'm a professional. I deserve to be treated as a professional. For too long, the teaching profession has had to put up with the emotional manipulation to justify low pay and lack of respect. We deserve to be paid as professionals, as the professionals we are. If we do not get a substantial raise or COLA increase this year, I will simply take my 14 years of experience to another school district that values me. I am the one in demand. This is not meant as a threat, just a sad conclusion to the years of compensation policies out of touch with the reality of the Bay Area economy and job market. Unfortunately, those sentiments from that teacher are something I hear way too frequently from my members. It's important you realize that many are struggling to afford housing and to make ends meet while living in one of the most expensive places in the world. Please take this into account as we move forward during negotiations. Please take care of your families so my members can take care of theirs. Thank you for letting me speak.
All right, thank you. Then next, let's welcome Britt.
Hi there, sorry. I have to, my Zoom video is a little bit blurry. So anyway, thank you for having me board. I'm here tonight just to let you guys know we have a few folks that wanted to speak tonight. I don't know if they'll be able to. One of them's texting me that they're having problems. It's from food service. So just, food service, we'd like to reach out to the board and ask that they could visit the central kitchen. I've been getting some reports that they're having a difficult time. They're losing employees and the work is becoming more difficult to operate. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity to ask you tonight, if you could come and listen to their voices. They are having a tough time over there. We also have Mitch Reading for electrician. He will be speaking this evening as well. He's having difficulties with basically a lead position over the top of him that the union feels that position shouldn't be, and we've filed a grievance. And I just want the board to know that some of the things that it's tough for me to be here tonight and talk about this stuff. I mean, and on a good note, Margarita, thank you for saying how great it is at the school sites, and I'm so proud of you. She is such an amazing worker, and I'm actually the HVAC tech at West Valley, and it's always a pleasure to go there. And I always seek out Margarita to see if there's something that needs attention. She's definitely a big part of maintenance and trades. So we count on our custodians to help us, and everybody, we count on everybody. We've lost a lot of people, and it's tough right now. We're crossing over doing other jobs. Last summer, I helped in the electrical department, even on just HVAC. We needed the portables, the wires pulled, and then to get the electricity on before school started. And we're just dwindling staff, trying to make do. So I just wanted to get that out there. Appreciate your time. I'll definitely be back to explain more and listen to some of the comments later. I have them speak on the I believe it's a public 9.1. Okay, so hopefully that was correct. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Britt, and thanks both Kai and Britt for coming to speak with us tonight. All right, let's move on then to let's see, item 9.1, public comments. So this is a portion of the meeting for the public to make comments on items that are not on the agenda tonight. So if you'd like to comment on an agenda item, we'll take those comments when these items come up late in the meeting. So there's a link to a comment card on the district website. And so please fill out that card. We'll call on you when it's your turn to speak. And when your name is called, please raise your hand. So sort of virtual hand in Zoom so that we can unmute your microphone. With that then, Erin, do we have speakers for 9.1 today?
Yes, we do. We have 4 speakers.
4 speakers. All right. Okay. Let's welcome them.
We have Lola, Mitch, G, and Tammy. If you could please raise your hands.
Okay, let's give them 3 minutes each, and who'll be first? Okay, looks like Mitch, you'll go first. So welcome, Mitch.
Hi, my name is Mitch Reading. I'm the district electrician for the last 21 years. And I guess you can't see me, so I guess it's all right. I also wanted to congratulate Margarita. And
excuse me, Mitch, we can turn on your camera if you like. Would you like
yes,
that?
yes, please.
Okay, let's do that, please. For the other speakers, if you would like to have your camera on, just let us know before you start, and we'll get that started before you make your comment. Thank you. Okay, Mitch, I see that your camera's enabled and your microphone should also be enabled.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mitch Reading, your district electrician. I've been your electrician for 21 years. I'd like to also just take a couple seconds to say, Margarita, congratulations. All my interactions with her have been very positive. She's a great person, and congratulations. The reason I come to you tonight is I wanted to talk about the district is not following their policy on favoritism. It hires whoever they want, and it doesn't matter if the position is filled with someone who actually has the knowledge to do the job. And I've been here a long time, and I am definitely qualified for that job, and I don't know why I wasn't considered for it. And sorry, I'm not really good at this. Anyways, the district isn't, they're hiring whoever they want for the positions, and they're not following our contract, and it requires they hire qualified individuals only. The district needs to stop this hiring practice. It creates a hostile work environment, and it's really become to the point where I'm seeking other employment after 21 years. I love this job. I love this place. It breaks my heart that after all these years, I can't even find anyone to help me out with this situation. And I'm perplexed at what to do. And I'm hoping that just bringing this up at a board meeting, someone will look into this and maybe help me out with it. I've been here a long time, and I've done excellent service for this place. I was the only electrician here for 16 years. When the staffing survey said there should be 6 of us. Never complained. I just did my job, and I hustled it every day for you guys. And now I find myself in a position where I'm being treated like a second-class citizen. And like I said, I'm seeking other employment because this is not. I'm in demand too. Just like the teachers union said, I can go get a job anywhere. But I love this. I love being part of the educational process. I love doing this for the children. This job has been so important to me over the years. This is a tough decision for me. It makes me cry. I'm really upset about this. And I hope that somebody will take the time to look into this and maybe give me a hand with this, because this is going to ruin the district. This used to be a wonderful place to work. It was like a family, and everybody here is starting to feel the same way I am. And we don't want this. This is a great district. We want to keep this district great. I bleed Cupertino blue. I love this place. Please, somebody listen to me and take notice of this and do something to help me out with this situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch. Let's welcome our next speaker, please.
Hello.
Oh, hello, welcome.
Hi, my name is Jai. I'm from Meyerhouse neighborhood. I'd like to share some of my thoughts regarding CUSD. A lot of things puzzled me. The kids didn't have music class until their 3rd month of school. There's no PE teacher for 3rd grades and under. There's no on-site nurse. Kids won't have art class without parents' donation. Those are actually fundamentals of education. On the other side, CUSD just hired an associate superintendent. With declining enrollment, Mrs. Yao is expanding her admin empire. I heard that CUSD will hire professionals for kids' emotional wellness. You know that every time we talk about school closures, my kids cry very sadly. School closures are causing their emotional unwellness. Can it be more sarcastic? Next year, more than 700 kids will flow into the small corner of Southeast Quadrant. It will cause lots of traffic problems. Closing school is a wrong decision. I'm not gonna repeat how disappointed our neighborhood is. Sylvia, Phyllis, and Lori, you don't represent the community. You have to go. We'll have 4 members who can truly represent us. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's welcome our next speaker. This is Tammy, I believe. So please go ahead when you're ready, Tammy.
Hi, my name's Tammy Denoda from SEIU Local 521. I am here to let the board know that there are some serious problems among all the classifications that we represent at Cupertino's school district. But I want to give you an example of some things that I heard just in my visit last week with some of the cafeteria assistants. Some that just work at some of the school sites and others that work at the central kitchen. But I'm most concerned about the central kitchen. There seems to be some really dire circumstances on their working conditions. As you all know, the federal government's been providing more money to the districts to provide a lot more free food to the kids in the community and in the district so that, you know, we make sure that everybody's fed, and we're all in support of that. However, the same staff has been providing those lunches and those meals to these children without any new staff, without any new hours, without any, they've kept them to their minimum of 3 hours or whatever it is that they have them on that schedule. Most of them are below 4 hours because that's what the district has hired them as, working less than 4 hours. So they're not eligible for a pension. They're not eligible for any of the things that the regular employees of the district have. But in order to do that, they have to work on an assembly line in the central kitchen. And they have to work in these working conditions where it's sort of like the Lucille Ball commercial where, or the episode where the conveyor belt just keeps going faster and faster and the food just falls off. It really sounds funny, but it's really not when it's real life and you're working in that central kitchen and you have to maintain trying not to spill any of that food and trying to provide decent lunches to these students. These people obviously don't work there because they have to and they need to be there. They're there because they care about these students. When I asked them why they still work there, that's all they kept saying is because we care about the kids. Our kids goes to these schools. We want to make sure they're fed. So I really want to invite the board to please come visit the central kitchen, coordinate with us to come talk to our members and visit the central kitchen, because if you do that with the district, they're obviously just going to put you on a day where you can just talk to them. And we don't think that's in your best interest. We think you should want to talk to the members to really figure out what's going on. And they also said that the district would then just coordinate for you to go on a day where they have an easy meal and not a regular meal, which has rice and something else that makes it more complicated. But my main point is that we really need you to figure out what is going on in the central kitchen and to make sure that these members are represented. I also want to tell you that the starting wage for a cafeteria worker, number one, is under $17 an hour. And the top wage for that worker is $20 an hour. For a cafeteria worker too, the starting wage is $17.64 and the top wage is $21.43. I just want to let you know that my 17-year-old daughter went to the mall this week and got a job as a retail worker on the spot for $7.
Thank you, Tammy. Do we have any other speakers during this segment?
We do not.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Moving on to section 10, that's consent. Today we have 9 consent items. Remember 10.10 was polled earlier. So could I get a motion, please?
I move the consent items omitting 10.10.
Thank you. All right. Could I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Thanks, Satish. Let's go ahead and vote on this. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Okay, great. Motion passes 4-0. All right, we'll move on to the information presentation section. We have one item here today, 11.1. It's the Parcel Tax Oversight Committee report to the board. So Chris?
Yes, good evening. I'm happy to present tonight, the annual report of our Citizens Parcel Tax Oversight Committee. I'd like to thank the community and as well as the committee for doing their duly stated task of making sure that the district is spending the parcel tax in accordance with the ballot language. So I'd like to introduce our guest presenter tonight, April Vitelli. She is a member of our parcel tax committee, and she will share with you some of the work that we've done this year. So with that, I'll turn it over to April.
Great. Can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome, April.
Great. Thank you for having me. And thanks to Chris and for giving us an extra, and the board for giving us an extra month to kind of look more in depth at some of the numbers behind this roller envelope that you see here. That allowed us to really feel like we had a good understanding as a committee what the funds went towards and comfortable in signing off and approving the expenditures. Just some highlights in the overall presentation of this. We did modify it from last year. We just cleaned it up a little bit and added a little bit more white space. And so there's that. One of the things, just some highlights. There's a decrease. Yeah, if you go to page 2, that top middle, small increase in the funds received from last year, just about 50,000. And then an increase, we did see more increase in the refunds. So those getting the exemption. So that did go up and created overall a net decrease of 137,000. So not too much, but I think that really what that equates to is the decrease in the FTE equivalent FTEs that were able to be funded. Last year it was 79 and this year it dropped to 76.71. But overall, the funds were spent is appropriate, and the board met twice, reviewed all these numbers, and is ready to send out the report.
Great. Thank you, April. I'd like to bring it, check with my colleagues. Anybody have any questions or comments on the presentation? No? All right. And Aaron, do we have any public comments on this item?
No, we do not.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, well, thanks, April. Thank you for service
you.
on the Oversight Committee. And thanks, Chris, for the report today. Thanks very much. All right. Let's move on to then item 12.1. This is a discussion action. It's the determination of future virtual meetings for December. So, Mrs. Yao.
Thank you. So two different things wanted to share tonight. One is if we do select to choose and continue with virtual meetings, this would be our 30-day notice to allow us to do this for the November 30th board advanced study session. So that would be one element that we'll want to discuss is whether we want to continue. But as staff had indicated at our last meeting, we wanted to bring forward a plan to return to in-person. And so staff has come back with a plan and wanted to share what our recommendation would be to return to our in-person that we had been in prior to COVID, but with some accommodations as well. So really wanting to put, following our protocols and our safety guidelines and look forward to returning to in-person. We know that the majority of our districts surrounding us have returned to some portion, either completely in-person or a hybrid model. And so what we're looking at is to continue to do a hybrid model. We really do feel that there's the value of having people who choose to come back to in-person is important, but also then to allow people who may want to join in remotely to have that opportunity to participate and share comments and be part of our meetings as well. So our recommendation to return to the in-person board meetings is that we would ask personnel who want to attend the meeting to provide proof of a vaccination. That would be shown to us upon entry into the GLC here at Collins Elementary. We will space out our participants. And so we are looking at our current GLC. We could hold approximately 35 people with a spacing of 3 feet. Part of the reason for that spacing and is really about the contact tracing and minimizing the exposure for our families. And so we can fit about 35 creatively in here. We also have an additional space that we can use as a overflow room so that if we have over 35 people could be in that overflow room watching the board meeting, and then they could still make comments in public. They could come into this room to at the podium and speak. So we have a couple different classrooms that we could use as overflow if it was a large attended meeting. We would go back to our process that we have the comment cards ahead of available 15 minutes prior to the meeting. So we would open our doors at 5:45. Comment cards would be available. The same for those families that are choosing to join us virtually. The comment card would be available 15 minutes prior to the meeting for them to submit a comment card. Those who are in person and submit a comment card, they would come up to our podium, be able to speak to us in person. Those that wanted to submit their comment card virtually, we would call on them similar to what we do now. We could figure out as we go through whether we want to go a group in person and a group virtually. Those are easy dynamics to figure out once we know how many people are there. We are requiring all face coverings to be worn indoors, so any participants would need to continue to wear face coverings while they come inside. Again, our seating capacity, we would space 3 feet spacing so we can fit about 35 chairs comfortably in here. The one item that we would revert back to, because this would be considered in-person meetings, is prior, we always had the comment cards submitted up until the time that the item was began to be introduced at the board meeting. Where currently virtually, we've allowed those comment cards to come in until the first comment are made. So we would like to go back to our process that had been in place for in-person, where we actually took the comment card up until the time of the item beginning to be introduced. And then again, I think important to allow our virtual participants to have that ability to participate and to provide their comments virtually and be heard, and continue our process that we have now with our beautiful owl that seems to be working tonight, and being able to turn on their cameras. So if we can go to the next two considerations here. One is the recommendation is November 30th. If we were to remain virtually, that is our board advanced study session. So it's a daytime event. The reason to perhaps stay virtual is because we do host it here in our GLC. School is going on at that time. Currently on our school sites, we're limited visitors on the campus. And so that would limit our ability to allow people in. However, if there was a desire of the board to go into the person by November 30th, what I would recommend is we just move back to our old board meeting and hold the meeting during the day at the board meeting so that we're not interfering with the school. Otherwise, the other option would be continue virtual for November 30th and then December 9th go to our in-person hybrid model. So that is all I have to share in that area.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'd like to check with my colleagues, see if anyone have any questions or comments. Okay.
But thanks, Tim. It's really good. And I think you guys have done a lot of work on this. And I know we are pressurizing a lot on this. And I'm very happy actually on this plan. Okay. A couple of questions on this is how do you make sure that, or somebody will be counting and taking 35 people maximum here inside? Or how is that logistics going to work?
So we just looked at spacing chairs out 3 feet apart. And so we did a little demo where we had chairs and saw how many we could fit. We may be able to fit a few more in. We just wanted to make sure that they would be able to see the screens as well. So we roughly said 35, but as we actually set up the chairs, if we can fit 40, we would certainly allow 40 in. And then our support rooms would fit probably about 15 to 20 that families or parents.
So once it is full, we close the door, or how does it work actually? Once this is full, 35.
Once we would have personnel at the door checking
Okay.
the vaccination cards, and then once they come in, they would just keep count. And then if somebody left, somebody else could enter in, or we'd offer up the spot.
Okay.
So we'll have personnel that we'll put on during board meetings to help monitor.
One more question. Yeah. So you said that in the board advance, right? Like I understand that number 30th is very close and I'm okay for that. But I think January 27th, we are having the next one. So how are we going to manage here after, like on the board advance days?
Well, part of it, I think, was being optimistic that maybe some of our guidelines would be changing. If not, we would probably look at that board advance at being at a different location, just so that we can ensure people could come in and participate. Our old boardroom is a little bit limited in space, and so we might possibly look at if we could use, we've used the Quinlan Center before. We could look at some other areas for that January board advance.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Satish. Sylvia or Phyllis, either of you have questions or comments?
I have just a question. So you talked about a couple of classrooms for overflow areas. Are those classrooms that are currently vacant, or are you going to use kids' classrooms?
So we would use student classrooms. We would use an art room behind us. It would just require us cleaning at the end of the board meeting so that it's ready for the students in the morning, but just allow a space indoors so that participants wouldn't have to stand outside.
Mm-hmm. So you said you had two?
We could use as many classrooms. I'd want to coordinate with the principal here at Collins to ensure that we're not disrupting the activities of the school.
Right. Okay, thank you.
And Sylvia, did you have anything? No. Okay, great. I have a couple of questions. I just wanted to make sure. So in terms of capacity, you talked about 35 in here, potentially 15 to 20. So conservatively, at least 50 we can accommodate here.
I believe so. Yeah.
And folks who are in the overflow rooms will be able to come in here to make comments and then return back to the overflow room.
Yes, that would be
Okay,
our intent.
great. And then in terms of, are there any age limits, or is it like before where anyone can come in with? the
We
right-
had really just looked at the number of occupants. So if a family of 5 comes in, that's 5 seats that would be taken up. So we would just do head
Okay,
count.
as long as they've got proof of vaccination, et cetera,
Yes.
anyone can come in. Great, thank you. All right. Let's see. Are there any public comments on this item?
No, there are not.
All right, so you're looking for board direction, I presume, for this?
I am.
Okay,
Are we voting on this or just?
it's, well, voting on the.
So if
360
you
mhm.
choose to not return to in-person until December 9th, then we would need to vote that we're going to continue the virtual meeting. If your desire is to return to in-person on November 30th for the board advance, then there would be no action on it.
So, folks,
No,
mhm.
I'm okay. I think we just gave you a week actually, and I think you all did a good job on that. Actually, I'm very happy for that December 9th. At least agreed for getting it. And I'm okay to have the first in-person meeting on December 9th. From my personal.
I support what Satish just said.
So we have any,
Is this a motion?
No,
no, we're just discussion right now. I
Oh,
think.
yeah, no, I'm in support of the staff recommendation.
Okay, and I am too, and just want to add, thank you for the quick turnaround. I know it's been only a week, so thank you for lining up the chair, sir, and everything. So it's,
It's a great progress.
yeah, so then you're looking for a motion then.
I am, and so because we are going to continue a virtual meeting for the November 30th, we would just qualify for that because there is still the executive order from Governor Newsom under the AB 361. And because our county still has that state of emergency, that qualifies us to continue in virtual meetings.
Okay, could I get a motion? for
Yeah,
this?
I can make a motion for 12.1.
Okay, great. Thank you, Satish. And could I get a second, please?
I'll second.
All right, thanks, Phyllis. Let's go ahead and vote on this. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Great. And then moving on to section 13, we have 2 action items here. The first is the district reopener proposal with CSEA. So is there a brief introduction before we take action? I was just wondering if there was there a brief introduction to this item before?
So this is really our presentation, our first read for the CSEA Sunshine articles. They were brought in last board meeting, I believe, for preview. And so this would be just being taken the formal action so that we can commence and begin the negotiations.
Great, thank you.
So I move that we approve the district's reopener.
Thank you, Phyllis. And could I get a second, please?
You can second that.
All right, thank you, Sylvia. Do we have any public comments on this item?
No, we do not.
All right, let's go ahead and vote on this. Okay, let's vote on this. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion passes. 13.2, this is the approval of resolution 21-2209, conflict of interest code.
So this is our annual update each year as we've had any positions that may have changed the title or people have left. We need to update our interest code. And so we're just bringing it forward for approval. We've had a couple people changes in their position title or people change in the positions. We have had our one new additional position, our director of communication, that would be added onto this list, and then we file it with the county office.
Great, thank you. Can I get a motion, please?
Yeah, I can make a motion.
Thanks, Satish. In a second.
I'll second.
Thanks, Phyllis. Any questions or comments on this one from my colleagues? No? Do we have any comments from the public?
No, we do not.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and vote on this then. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes. All right, well, moving right along here, item 14.1, board activity and committee reports. Anyone like to go first? I don't have anything.
Yeah, they don't have it in that one.
Yeah. so-
I just want to give a shout out to Leslie and the principals of the receiving schools. I've attended 3 of their meetings this week and I'll attend the one tomorrow at Eaton. And you guys are doing an amazing job. And I think the parents are really happy to hear. And the the school personalities are coming out, the principals' personalities are coming out, the parents are participating. I think it's been really well done. So thank you, Leslie.
All right. Thank you, Phyllis. Okay, all right. And then item 15.1 agenda setting. Is there any requests for any future agenda items?
I was just thinking on this outdoor mask stuff we were talking for some time, and when is the right time to bring that thing in? So probably we should consider that, a discussion on that or an update. What's a district stand on that and so on. Okay, and definitely I think the vaccine part, you said that you would be sharing that. So is it coming as an agenda item or a supplement report? I don't know, but probably sometime we need to include that as a.
Yeah, if you would like, we can do an update. We haven't done an update on our guidelines at a board meeting, so we could bring back an update on the guidelines. Hopefully we have the information on the vaccination clinic, which would be great. So we could look at bringing that back in December.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we could have that as a maybe information discussion, maybe generalize it to just safety protocols in general, including
Yeah, I just
masks
think,
and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the first interim, when should we expect to see that on the agenda? Is that going to be the first meeting in December or? Okay, so December, okay, first December 9th then.
Right.
Great. All right, excellent. All right, 2 items then. I guess that was already on there. Wasn't a request. Okay, with that then, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the meeting at 6:48. Thanks, everyone.